Hey everybody, today we're going to be taking a quick look at the ZIP security panel by Potter Electric Signal. So as you can see, I got it powered up here, and just a really simple setup. I wired up a Lockinetics panic switch, which in itself is pretty simple anyways, just so we can test out the zones on this panel and see how it reacts in an alarm. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the panel's display. Taking a look at the display, we can see this is a pretty simple 4-zone panel. You can see we have zone indicator LEDs here for all the individual zones. The red LED will illuminate in an alarm condition, and the green LED will illuminate if the zone is disarmed using these 4 switches down here. And I'll get back to those in just a second. Up on the top you can see the AC power LED, and then in addition to the ground fault LED that's up on the top. And right in the middle we have the test reset switch, which we can use to perform a quick lamp test on the panel. So with the door opened on the panel, you can see that we now have access to some of the additional controls for the system. First of all, we have the relay latch or non-latch switch. The only output on this panel is this relay down here. It actually doesn't have any device outputs on it, so you'd have to wire this into something else using the relay here. Then over here we have the buzzer control switch. You can set the buzzer to activate in all zones, which is currently set on. You can set it to off, or you can have it only activate on zone 1. And then finally, getting back to some of these switches down here, you can see the 4 access switches, and then these little metal pieces that you can actually screw in with a flathead screwdriver, and that'll lock out the switches so that they can't be moved while the front door of the panel is closed. So to disarm one of the zones on this panel, we're going to use zone 3 as an example. First thing you're going to do is move the switch from secure down to the middle position between secure and access. And we go ahead and do that. That actually creates an alarm on the system. And so then we can move it to access and then reset the panel. And I'm not sure if you can hear me talking over that buzzer, so I'll just repeat that. You have to slide the switch through a middle position before it'll move down to the final position, which causes an alarm on the system, which then when you move it down to access, you can finally reset. So now you can see we have the green access LED illuminated below zone 3, and now any contact closures on that zone will not be read by the panel, and it'll be complete access to that area of the building. Now we're going to go ahead and test out the Lockinetics panic switch right here, which, as you can see right above the 6-volt standby battery, I have this wired into zone 1, and you'll see the end-of-line resistor is still in the panel. I don't like to do that, but I actually forgot to put it on the switch when I was setting it up, and I didn't feel like popping it back open to wire in the resistor. Anyways, so let's go ahead and test this. And you'll see there's no way to silence an alarm once it has occurred. You have to physically reset the device and then reset the panel. There is this buzzer control switch up here, which you can set so that the buzzer is off, so that it activates a silent alarm. But once the alarm has actually been activated, you can't change the position of the switch. The panel just won't pick it up. So, like I said, there is no way to silence an alarm without actually resetting the device and hitting the reset button on the panel. The next thing I wanted to mention about the panel is this tamper switch that you see down here for the cabinet. You'll see it's wired into terminals, 5, 6, and 7 on the control board. But you'll notice that there's no alarm even though the door's open. Terminals 5, 6, and 7 don't actually have a connection to the board. They're just kind of placeholder terminals so that the wires can be connected in the panel without a wire nuts or anything. And so you actually have to wire those into one of the panel zones in order to have operation of the tamper switch. So you don't have like a dedicated tamper alarm on this panel. It would simply be wired into one of the 4 zones. So that was just a quick overview of this control unit to show some of the features and demonstrate it for a little bit. I hope to maybe have this set up for some future videos or maybe a future little system, but this will probably be more of a display piece because it is brand new and I don't want to mount it or pop out any of the knockouts if I don't have to. So if you have any further questions or you want to see something specific with this control panel, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thank you for watching and have a great day.